into one of your YouTube accounts, and then go to your Gmail, and then I'll show you the Hangout thing. I was trying to do FaceTime on the computer. I can't hear anything you're saying. There's no audio. Okay, that could be my fault. Actually, let me look. No, it should work. I don't hear anything. How about now? No, you have no input. Huh. Can you hear me? Log into one of your YouTube accounts and go to Gmail. Yeah, and tell me which one so I can call it. Are you doing it?
Can you hear me now?
Now you've got a microphone. Now
Yeah,
this is
that's
the
the
computer or
microphone
on the... is this the computer or the iPad?
This is on the PC, yeah.
Okay.
The iPad.
Go to one of your YouTube things and log in.
Huh?
Go to one of your YouTube accounts and then go to Gmail.
Oh no, my Gmail account is blocked. YouTube.
You've got one of them that works, don't you?
Yeah, I've got several.
Okay, log into one of your YouTube accounts that's not locked, and then go to its Gmail.
But, I could try that, but I don't see how that's going to work since the Gmail account's blocked. I mean,
if you have one that's not locked, go into that.
Yeah, I think I've got ones that are not locked. No, they're not all locked. But the one that I created with Gmail.
I can save it to mine too.
So yeah, I'm on my account.
And now go to Gmail because you're already logged in.
I guess I am.
Because the YouTube account is connected to the Gmail account. So being logged into one is logged into the other.
Yeah, but if I log in for my one that I created the Gmail account, it'll just block me. It just blocks me. It's because my account's been banned.
Okay, isn't there one that isn't banned that you can log into?
I've got several active accounts of YouTube, but none.
Log into one that isn't screwed up.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Okay, now go to its YouTube. Go to its Gmail.
Okay, so I get a Gmail. I get free Gmail. Okay, how do I do that then? Settings or?
Just type. Now that you're in YouTube, just type in gmail.com up at the top and hit return.
Okay, fine.
Okay, now you have the chat thing in the corner.
The only point showing you can see the screen or anything.
I can see your screen, but it's backwards.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Do you see the chat thing?
Chat.
In the go to Gmail. Gmail.com.
Okay. Yeah. And if I put in my Gmail address, I can try it.
Not your address, just gmail.com in the address bar.
I'm going to add Gmail to my Google account.
What?
It wants me to add Gmail, yeah. I did gmail.com in the address bar.
In the address bar at the top of the screen, where normally it's HTTP, just clear all that out, put in gmail.com.
Yeah, I do. It takes me to the accounts page, and it wants me to log in, choose your Gmail address.
It's the same as the last YouTube account. It's the same login. You don't have them separate, do you?
That's what I've got.
You have to log in?
Yeah. I don't know if I do that, it kicks me out again because of the Gmail.
Okay, but is there a way to log in to an account that does exist, that isn't dead?
Yeah, I've got two. But I don't know if they're good. Okay, I'll try,
Do it. Just create a Gmail box page.
I see. Yeah, I think it was in. See
I'll
that?
get you the next step if you can get to Gmail inbox. Overcome your natural tendencies to be goofy. And win this one way, and then you can be goofy on screen.
Well, I mean, basically blocked one of my Gmail accounts, I guess. It's confusing though.
Okay, so you're at a Gmail inbox?
I'm waiting for the page to load. Welcome to your new inbox. Okay, got it, I've isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so in the lower corner there, the lower left corner, there should be a little chat section with kind of a little phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phone stop digital.
Okay, but then there's a text box right there too, right there lower, and underneath the little icons, type in. Here's my address. There. Now, England, do they give you free phone calls?
You can get them.
I think they said it was
Not
American.
impossible. Yeah.
I think they're only giving it to us.
So in search people, what do I do? Oh, I put in you.
We get free phone call, free long distance in America for free, completely from Google, even if you don't take them up on the Google Voice option. You can still call and not receive but you can get your own free phone number from these guys. No other. It's not a company like Yahoo. It's the CIA. You know what I mean? It's the NSA.
Mm.
They're in the NASA building.
Okay, so do I get the iTunes Hangout thing as well, or what?
What?
I've got iTunes Preview Hangouts, Google, in iTunes.
Okay, but just type in my address in that search chat thing.
Okay. Where it's yeah.
You see, I just pasted it in there into
in Skype.
In Skype, but do the search in Google.
Yeah. I'm trying to install the Hangout software as well. Yeah, it's just we're having trouble connecting our server or something at the moment. It was there.
You don't see the Google inbox?
I'm on the Google inbox page, yeah, and there was a little thing that said search, and then it said,
there's icons and stuff, and then there's a little search thing. Put in my address right there. It says search chat or SMS.
It's not there. It's here.
No, it's not. Okay, so down below, is there an icon for a little chat thingy? And you're in Google inbox, huh? Let me see the left-hand side of the page. I can only see the right. The empty right. Let me see the left. No, the wrong way. My left. A little lower. There's a kind of an icon complex down there at the bottom.
That's the search thing.
What is that?
Not right.
I still can't see the bottom of the screen, bottom left. Man, they rip you off in England. Okay. No, but somehow the bottom left. Straight down from where it says compose, all the way down, at the bottom of where it says compose. There's an icon thing there. In there?
I've got the Hangouts icon and something.
Hangouts Manager? Does it say that?
No.
Okay, how about at the top of the screen, all the way on the left? Is it in black? Does it say Google Plus? Oh shit. I just need to know which account did you log into? What is the email address on that?
New one I just created.
Put in the email address. At least let me see it.
It's probably johnhmore@gmail.com.
What's the email address for this account? John.
That's it.
It's too
John
blurry.
H.
It's blurry.
Oh, okay.
A little lower. Lower. Okay. John H. Marr.
HM War.
Yeah, we type in my. You're moving too fast. Just type it in Skype.
Yeah.
It's killing me.
I don't know where it was there. The message to search was there, and then it disappeared.
You're a terrible cameraman. Alright, I'll do it this way. Okay, this request for me in Gmail. Go back to Gmail for a second.
I would do that.
I'll try to do the Hangout method too.
Okay, I'll just do new contacts. That'll work, won't it? Add to circles. Do I add you to circles? Yeah, I added you. Now what?
You hear the ringing? Google Hangout should be calling.
I'm trying to contact you. I think possibly you hang up.
Okay, at least I can stop it.
Started, anyway. It's funny how things work, and within moments of me trying them, they stop working. It's like guaranteed to be totally secure and never fail, and then I try it, it's like, no, not anymore. It was guaranteed.
I've got to get the vaporizer. I can't actually do this, because I get goo in my lungs. It's just, it's embarrassing. And I had to choose a couple years ago, drowning or living, and I chose drowning. For a long, long time, you see, and I can't do it because a cup of brown goo that you would not believe. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I gotta get the vaporizer. I've seen it like on TV.
Oh yeah.
How come I don't hear a ring? I do hear a ring. Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's whining about various settings, so I'm just fixing those. Waiting for people to enjoy this video call. But it's got my volumes on there. Volume's working. Are you okay? That's cool.
You don't hear the ringing now?
It's picking up on the microphone, but it's not like I'm not getting messages saying somebody's trying to call you.
Now it says it looks like you're not available. Are you sure that's the account you're using? That email address is the account that you're logged into?
You should have like an invite from me or something.
I'll look. Oh, click to join this video call. Shit.
Yeah, because I've been trying to invite you onto the video call.
It won't let me do it now. Because you're not on Hangouts right now.
I am. Well, I think I am. Okay, well, I'll close the window and then try again.
It says you're Stinkmaster from Cheltenham. You gotta change your...
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, you should get another request then.
Okay.
Is that me?
We gotta hang up Skype.
Stupid. Yeah, I wasn't that impressed. You didn't record anything, there's not much point. Good boy. You hear me, yeah?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, that's funny what Celtic Rebels do.
You probably like real low res because I just fixed my upload. I was uploading by torrent.
I'll send you a copy of what he recorded. It's not exactly interesting.
No, it's
It's not very Fox News. I'll wait for a little message thing. There it is. And
Or are you in a video call right now?
well, I'm recording one, aren't I?
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, this is the previous one. This is what the same sort of setup.
It has me in a video call right now.
So let's see. So I can't contact you on Skype on the iPad, can I, at the same time? Because I can contact you on Skype.
Yes. Well, if you have two different accounts, you have to have one account for each machine. Then you can
Yeah, I've got that. I've sorted that out.
Or you're sending me the video.
Okay, so I'll contact you and you just add me to the call or something.
That's a different Skype.
Yeah, different Skype.
What are you doing? No, I meant in Hangouts.
You're at Hangout still?
That's you have the three-way video.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I could quit Skype.
That's why I've been trying to direct you to that concept. I'm not that big of a fan of Hangouts either, but it does offer three-way video, whereas Skype is trying to charge for that.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's
Skype 5's been released.
That's why it hurt extra amount to Zapopper and those guys because they were paying to be abused. You really pushed their button there. I mean, being taped on Hangouts, you expect it or whatever. In Skype, they had to pay to make that happen.
Yeah. John Henry Mills wife is talking like he's spy.
You're really good at making them hurt.
Good. Yeah, because this one now, we've got like classic Maggot calls Agent 006 recording, and you see.
This is really just so unfair. You know who invented all this? AOL. Oh, you have a subscription? I can't even speak. Subscription to the thing, or you're just trying it out?
It said like, for Skype 5, it said something about an upgrade for Skype 5. Is that you're talking about?
It says you have video now because someone has a subscription.
Really?
Yeah, it just said that to me. You must have did the trial subscription.
Oh yeah, 7-day trial.
So turn on the video on your other one.
On my iPad?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I was there.
See, I should have screen capture software installed and I don't. The Mac just does screenshots real easy.
Yeah, for some reason it's not showing the picture because normally it will automatically put the video on.
There's a button there that you turn.
Well, it's got a picture of a group call.
It's near where you mute the microphone. Oh, okay. Well, video is one of them. No.
Right.
Yeah, okay. It's the first one. It's the first one because it's blocked. The first icon down there, on the left. It's muted right now. It's muted video.
No, that's muted mic.
Oh, okay. Maybe for some odd reason it's decided you can't do video. That is a weird...
Yeah, it's probably picked up on that whole three-way call thing, not allowed to do video recording.
No. If you're trying out the trial, yes, you can.
Yeah.
I'll put Phil Spector in here. Here, let me log in as Phil Spector. That's Mother Bertha. Do you have that account?
No.
Yeah, it's Mother Bertha. It's the name of Phil Spector's publishing company. I have to log in my iPod that way. Now I can do three-way video because you got the trial. That's how I used to go to the bathroom. I have another account, so I can put it in the pod. Okay, call him.
You set that to the iPad, did you?
iPod.
Yeah.
It's Mother Bertha.
I'm waiting for it to display. It hasn't said anything yet.
Because I'll show you three-way video then. Shit.
Yeah, because I've got more on this Saturnalia theory anyway of mine. And the rough files I've been sort of like jokingly suggesting they're German, but they're really French. And they're French peasants, basically. They've been set up to be like the sort of like, you know, could be ruling elite, but it's all been set up. You know, Saturnalia is where everything's inverted. So, George then, did they? Yeah, so it's,
no, I mean, I answered no to the question.
No, not shields, that's it, shields. Yeah, so they're French peasants, the rest of the line. Sort of ties in a bit of like, yeah, it's still that picture. As you can see me on that.
I hit no. I'm retarded.
It's not.
I know.
You should have it up. I know. This has actually got It has.
It thinks I'm in the sky.
Sounds like
It's a game with these stupid security things.
Security is never for us.
Yeah.
Oh, you do
This
have.
is what I did is I unplugged the USB camera. Just to see if it. Yeah. My voice is horrible. Devastation across the nation.
Mute the microphone on one of them.
Causing outright frustration. When we'd rather people go back to as one nation.
So I can't do video from the pod either. That's not much of a trial subscription if they won't let you do it. Or maybe they're blocking that because it's like two from the same IP number. You know? Is there a microphone attached to this? Oh, yeah, it's working. Oh, no, I can't hear you at all. That's why I was just going to my audio stuff so I could find it if you're really talking or not. I can't hear you at all.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
What?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just testing my settings. What I've got at the moment is a webcam, attached to the PC, and the Yeti mic attached to the PC. I'm not using the iPad. It's a shame though because like the iPad's better video quality. Yeah, you can see it's all yellow. My room. My room looks all yellow, and that's not like how it looks like normally. It's got this weird.
It is real, like it's real dark in there.
No, it's a white room. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, they have no white balance in England.
There, I've seen that. No. Yeah, it's just weirdness. Turn the brightness up.
So this laptop is just really cool. It feels like my old laptop because Apple did an automatic migration thing. So it does feel the same.
You can see that, can't you?
But now you're psychedelic.
Yeah.
What is this Canterbury scene? What do they call it? Progressive rock. I've collected a complete collection of all those people.
Prog rock.
And I don't get their music.
That's 70s. Prog rock's like wanky rock.
Yeah, it's groups you never heard of. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, like 2-minute guitar solos and stuff like that, probably.
You know Bill Bruford, who he was in Yes and King Crimson? Mainly he's in King Crimson. But he's even on the first couple Yes albums, like his picture.
Yeah,
You know, when he's not in those two groups, he fits into the Canterbury prog rock scene. He had a group called Bruford, which is his last name. But I don't get it. I'll give you a Wikipedia. You'll see that this sounds like nothing until you see this.
Oh, is the iPad backlit? Because there's no backlighting in this room. Not from where the camera's situated.
My camera on this laptop. I don't think I noticed this on the previous one.
Yeah.
It lights up. I'm looking at a white light in the middle there.
Oh, okay.
And the camera lights up to light me. Have you ever seen like security cameras?
Yeah, it went all white now. It's like really whitening up.
I went up here and it really freaked out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this room is a white room. It's like your room, you know, same colour. And the iPad picks up the colour perfectly. Well enough.
Well, that's an Apple product, of course.
Yeah, this is like a crappy, annoying webcam. I might have to get another upgrade anyway, because this is like USB 2.
Get a machine off of that list. They've got machines as cheap as $300.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Off the Tony Mac list. Buy off the Tony Mac list, and if you don't like the results, it'll be a rockin' Windows machine. Here, I'll find you the thing. The current buy list. They have a list of machines that they know work. Like the Insanely Mac place. They'll work with it, whatever you got. Okay, I have a computer, but I'd like to go Mac. What do you think? You know, and they try it and they cry. A lot of those people are really in tears all the time. And so the people on this other side, Tony Mac, they tell you what to get, and then 100%, it works 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See that's the buyer's guide. They've got like the expensive ones, the cheapy ones, and the middle range ones, and whatever. And you can mix and match, whatever. But there's a lot more hardware that works than this. But this is what they know works, guaranteed.
I think I've heard of them, but yeah, I mean,
you won't be one of the people crying on Insanely Mac. At first on Insanely Mac there was like the bitching part, which was at most people, and then there were the people that bought this one board a million years ago, the Bad Addicts 2, and that was bliss and happiness and whatever. Those people were just lived in bliss, and that's where the Tony Mac people got the idea. Like, if you bought that one board, you were in bliss. I still have one. It's not hooked up right now. But now, see, they've expanded that bliss to a whole range of machines that they know work. You know.
I'll just buy a new webcam. This one's probably a couple of years old.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you were going to get another computer.
No, nothing drastic like that. No, I've literally just get a new... Oh, look, the colours are sort of like all right now.
They're brighter.
I mean, that's at least passable. At least like something like a human.
That really looked great today.
Yeah, the colour tone in your rooms is fine. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's okay. I mean, it doesn't look really stupid. Mine just looks ridiculous.
And so it isn't really the hardware. This laptop does not know it's not a Macintosh, so it's giving me the Apple correct, sync and all that stuff, and color balance and all that stuff. Because Apple does that. They don't care what the hardware is.
Let's gossip about Kendrick Rebel anyway.
If I booted up this computer with a Windows installation, it would choke like an old car, and it would seem like it was fucked up. That's the software fucking you. So it proves what we thought all along, at least since the hardware revolution, that Windows is just making it suck. It's making your experience degraded and sucky. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I'm using my hands to gesture. Right? They're not on screen. Yeah. So because I can boot this computer in Windows 7, Windows 8, or whatever, and it's crappy. It's inconsistent. The microphone doesn't work right.
Yeah.
Booted up Mac, it's rock solid. So it's not the hardware; it's an illusion. Windows is an illusion meant to fuck with your mind.
Yeah, it's the third-party software that they have to run with Windows. It's all the spyware and all the crapware.
No,
and
it's
all
Windows
that
itself. Windows itself
Yeah,
is their studio.
Yeah, it could be part of Windows. I reckon it's all the crappy.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a total illusion because this computer right now is booted Mac, and it's rock solid. I mean, it is rock solid. You've never seen a laptop like this, like a real Apple laptop. It is magic when they've got it. You know what I mean? And this laptop's exactly the same. It's an HP for 1/5 of the price, and it's rock solid. I'm saying boot the same laptop in Windows 8, Windows 7, and it wheezes like an old car. You know? So it's an illusion. Why would the same hardware act so differently? And the answer is because Windows is an illusion.
I put on an extra light. The ceiling light's never worked in this room.
And you can move yourself to whatever corner of the screen you want. But that's just for your own viewing. So
I could do that.
That's so you can keep yourself out of the shot.
Make myself giant. Shit. That's the idea of a massive picture. What is it? 150 by 100 or something. Something shit like that. 200 by 150.
Mine's full screen now.
So what I want to know is why is the whole world relying on Celtic Rebel and his amazing revelations, and why is it taking him so long to bring out shows?
Oh,
because
you've heard them. It's a disaster show. I mean, what did you want to put that out? No, I mean that's embarrassing.
They're amazing. He comes up with stuff that nobody else has ever thought of.
I know.
And it's never ripped off. It's sort of funny. It's sort of like
he's the new wave of this radio stuff, of the good ones at least. Freeman Fly is the same thing. Freeman Fly is.
Well, I don't know. I don't get the bigger picture on him. I don't see him as a new wave because why didn't he go on to what was it? Revolution Radio.
That's not a real network anyway.
What isn't Revolution? Oh, okay. It's a phony one. Well, it's all phony anyway. It's all fake as hell. I mean, it's like Douglas Dietrich is saying, like he's got like $600 in like each toe that has to be replaced because he's got to have metal toe implants or something. And the only money they make is off donations, and he never says anything about having a full-time job. And so somehow he's going to have to remunerate about $1,300 or something.
You're not donating.
And
are you?
He somehow gets enough money from doing these shows to go to Hawaii and tour around the world and all that sort of stuff.
That seems unlikely.
It's all really unlikely.
Well,
and it's hilarious in a way. I mean, it's like, they're pulling the wool over your eyes. They're playing out a movie. There's no real connection to reality, but that's the typical CIA thing for you, isn't it? I mean, it's
it's self-propelled. It isn't like the other services because they make all their money by coke and heroin sales and things like that.
Yeah.
It's self-propelled.
That's not
like the black budget. You see what I'm saying? And then this thing is like It happens to make a profit. Like Delta Airlines was invented for them. It's a CIA airline that was supposed to fly money to the Soviet Union to support it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And every day they would fly a pallet of cash to the Soviet Union. And now they're like that's a major airline in America, and it has a big hub in Cincinnati. And it doesn't do that anymore, but it's a CIA airline that makes money.
Mm.
But they had some that didn't. Like, have you ever heard like Mark Phillips talk? And he worked for Capital International Airways. The CIA has several airlines. But this one was a private airline, and he didn't grasp that it was CIA on his hat. Now he gets it, but the CIA owned a Capital International Airways, so with all the caps, he worked for them. He was in a place, so it was CIA right on his head, and he just did it. It's Kathy O'Brien's, her boyfriend or whatever that is.
Oh yeah, Mark Phillips, or his name is.
Yeah, he explains that he missed conspiracy that badly.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is all just like mind control anyway. At the end of the day, they're
all those CIA people are also the people who actually have jobs. They use everybody as a contractor so that nobody gets in trouble. So everybody's a staff. Where am I going with that? Oh shit. Oh, they're Wall Street people. They're all ex-Wall Street people that they hire. That's why they're referred to as bean counters. The people who really do work there are all Wall Street people, and then they hire as contractors, as they would in the old days, really hire them, but they're all contractors to be Al Qaeda or whatever the hell, whatever they're doing. Pablo Escobar, they have a lot of jobs. Did you see the Chuck Barris movie? He was the guy from the Gong Show who was also a CIA agent at the time.
No.
There's a movie version of the book. People didn't believe the book. I mean, I don't believe the book, but the movie was at least fun to watch. He was doing the Gong Show, from the 70s with the...
Yeah. I've heard of it.
And then it was the Chuck Barris story, and he's barely making it to the set. He's running and all this, because he's doing CIA missions of killing people and all this crap. Yeah. Which is really unlikely.
Well, yeah, most things are really unlikely anyway.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like Revolution Radio somehow can afford to have 60 or 70 hosts or something, but they don't make any money, so they all do it out of volunteer work, and they've always somehow got the time to do shows.
He's been making these very cryptic shows lately about how...
Are you Celtic?
Yeah, how he doesn't like white nationalism, which I don't like white nationalism either, but he's real creepy about why he doesn't like it or what it means. I think that's why he didn't go to Revolution Radio.
Possibly.
That could be the reason, because the shows are I guess he's making a point, not really, but he seems to be making a point for himself that is not explained to us.
Yeah, he's sort of like giving half an answer.
It is have you heard the last two or so?
Yeah.
He seemed to be talking about the Jews, but he was really just talking about how much he didn't like white nationalism, I think. I had to read into it to get that understanding.
He's missing out loads of detail. Like sort of like he's concentrating on little details, and he's missing out the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's all about white nationalism.
He's part of this new wave of conspiracy researchers. The traditional research has all been done. Notice the feeding frenzy is gone. I mean, even 9/11 gave people something to work on. Everything else has been researched. We got Justice Mullins, and it's all in print. And so the new people are Lenin Honor, Freeman Fly, Ed Cherini. Right or wrong, Ed Cherini. He came up with the thing about the ear. So here,
he's just a fucking joke.
No, but okay. Here's my ear. Am I really Billy Carter?
My ears have changed shape about 17 times since I became an adult. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, I should do my ears, present my ears for analysis.
I'm not stopping with Ed Cherini. So Celtic Rebel's another one of these. Celtic Rebel finds...
decoder.
Oh, that's your ear? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing...
Let me get this...
analysis.
Wait, stop.
No matching human print of this ear.
Alright.
It does not match any human model. Roman nose.
Do the other ear.
No, you can't see the other ear.
That's
confidential. That's the alien ear. That's the green ear.
Jimmy Carter is supposed to be JFK. Okay, but my point is that this is the new research, and it may be less important as the stuff that Eustace Mullins uncovered at the Library of Congress.
Yeah. The funny thing is that Eustace Mullins did sort of like know the bigger picture, but it was like so obvious to him. He ended up taking the piss out of like people who called him.
Yeah, but
that's the impression I get.
How influential the other four proteges of Ezra Pound were. T.S. Eliot, Keats, and William Butler Yeats, and the fifth protege was Eustace Mullins.
Yeah,
and I think he has been as influential as the other four.
Yeah, they just have a different attitude to it because they know about how like the information's all going to get crap, and the stuff like they picked up, like they could picked up from the library or whatever. Any day of the week is just
this stuff's all been taken out of the library. He was in the Library of Congress.
Yeah. But I mean, the stuff they could pick up quite easily, like day-to-day basis, is now like top secret.
Yeah.
And the top secret doesn't even mean that much. But it's become totally classified and like, oh really?
But ironically, the same source materials they're taking out of the libraries are being used as fodder for a make-work program that Google has been doing in colleges all over the United States, where they're having people scan books in.
Yeah.
The Google Books, most of which are available as PDFs, but the library people in America are taking them out of the library. They're gone. So you only have things that are based on things you don't have primary sources. It's all all the old books are being taken out, but they're available for free from Google because this is such a big project of make work that they don't have any discrimination about what they put online. I mean, if I were them, I would have censored a little bit. I mean, maybe have them scan in, but don't put all those online.
Have you read Fahrenheit 451? I think it's Fahrenheit 451.
All their criteria is this out of copyright?
Oh. Have you seen? I think they made a movie of it as well. Have you seen Fahrenheit 451 or read the book?
I downloaded it just now.
Yeah.
About 3 or 4 days ago. The 1966 movie.
Yeah, it's found that time. Yeah, because the point of that was they were burning all the original books.
Right.
Because apparently the temperature that books burn is Fahrenheit 451.
Well,
but I mean,
that Winston's job was impossible, right? That he was supposed to go back and change all the news articles.
Okay, yeah. 451's a code anyway.
But no, Winston's job in 1984 is to go back and change the news so that rewrite.
Oh, in 1984, you're talking.
Yeah, but now that's something that's actually possible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
They did that all the time during war. Like the Second World War. That's wartime propaganda.
And then the second question is, what kind of fortress is the housing of the people from archive.org? How do we know that's not been removed and hasn't? All kinds of embarrassing shit is in there. Like you can scrub the website and go to archive.org. It's called the Wayback Machine. And then there's a couple other services like that too. Like some of them are sort of defunct, but their data is still there. And
I saw a funny program on TV. There was this guy. It's like an auction show, and there was this guy, and he made a table that spins round, and he made it out of a Spitfire engine. And it took him like 5 years to build, and I think he wanted £500,000 for it. And
it's the rotor.
Yeah, that's the prop blades, and so it spun round. I mean, it didn't have like a Spitfire engine built into it. I think it was just the front of the Spitfire.
Just the real,
I don't think
real
that's working.
engines would have made it spin too fast. What, are you going to have your coffee on there?
Yeah, that's it. Just send it flying into outer space. It was ridiculous. But I was like watching that. I was like, oh, but he would have been better off building a German plane. Doing the equivalent for a German plane to get a lot more money, because like German memorabilia. Because I remember hearing that they got all the engines from the British fighter planes from Germany. Like Spitfire, I think was Rolls Royce, and Hawker Hurricane was BMW. I mean,
they make all the boat motors too.
Yeah, that's probably why Hawker Hurricane doesn't get promoted as much as Spitfire, because the Spitfire apparently didn't get as much active service as the Hawker Hurricane. And the Spitfire was like, the big show-off plane. It looked like a butterfly, which made all the fags fall in love with it, because it was like, a lovely butterfly flying to the sky.
I was just talking about this yesterday. It's a capstan. You've seen it on a cassette deck. You know what I mean? The metal piece that turns around.
Yeah,
but the same thing as the rotor.
Almost like an old cassette tape thing.
There's a type of engine that creates its power back here, and then it's the rotary pole. That's what the cassette player uses, but that's what the helicopter and the Spitfire. You know what I'm saying? It's a capstan, and Germans were really big on making those capstans. But we've seen many ones in the tape deck. You see what I'm saying? Or the VHS machine.
So you're saying that the Germans have made one
metal part,
their planes.
like the metal part here that spins, to make that spin, is called a capstan. And small, they make them bigger.
Yeah, well, this guy made like a 4-foot diameter table out of the capstan of the Spitfire. But I mean, he'd been better off doing like it out of a Messerschmitt or something like that, because it just got a lot more money. And in the show, he didn't actually sell it in the end, because somebody offered him like 50 grand or 125 grand. A quarter of the price that he thought it was worth. But he should have sold it, because he sold it to wealthy people, and then it'd be on display, and they'd be like, oh, what else has he done, sort of thing. Get your foot in the door. but he lost his wife and all this thing, and it took him 5 years. And it's just like, well, it was a badly conceived idea to begin with. You should have used German, fighter plane parts, and then you'd have got loads of money. Like people from Brazil or whatever would have paid a fortune for that genuine SS fighter plane. It would get loads more money than a crappy fucking English one.
Well, you reduced it to a product that can't be sold for very much. Maybe it is.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's sort of like it would be so much better if it was being done German and you just like said die English pig dog written on the side of it or something.
It's a cheap final thing made with super expensive parts. It's
Yeah.
hard to get the money back out of it.
I also that sort of also reminds me of like how they'd send the bombers out with maps, of Berlin, and like the only things beyond on the maps were the locations of the factories where they made the engine parts, engines and other parts of the planes. So you had that was the only places not to hit, because people are analysed to death, where they bombed in Berlin, but it was only bomb anywhere you like, but not these factories.
Super precision bombing, even in World War II.
They had a mission to drop a certain amount of bombs over a certain period of time, and so they'd get to you'd have half an hour window by the time they got to Berlin, to drop to dump their whole payload, and so they'd just drop bombs anywhere, and so they'd have maps that would tell them, don't drop bombs here. So anywhere else was totally acceptable to drop it. Schools, apartments, residential areas.
They flat
anything.
the whole city for no reason.
Yeah, everything except for the factories that manufactured the parts for the planes that they were using to bomb the Berliners.
More of the city survived in Hiroshima than it did in Dresden. Dresden was worse than nuking it.
Yeah, I heard that Dresden received more bombs than anywhere else in the whole Second World War.
It's leveled. I mean, there's photographs. Kurt Vonnegut wrote about it. Kurt Vonnegut was there during the time.
And that is what is so ridiculous about that Strangelove movie, is because it was so gay. I mean, it was like these guys are like, oh, I'm suddenly a bomber. Oh, I've got to drop bombs. Oh, bombs mean death. Bombs mean death.
Yeah, but
they suddenly got morality up there.
They put him with movies where it was possible for him to play multiple parts. That was more of a driving influence on the movie than the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they weren't the bombers weren't moral at all. They were like, I've got half-hour window to dump my payload, then I'm going to get back home, or dinner's going to be cold.
Those planes stayed in the air. Didn't you get that? That's what the sex reference of their mating was.
What, on Strange?
The refueling in Strangelove.
Oh, yeah.
Those planes don't land.
Yeah.
They refuel in the air. And Kubrick meant it like a big sexual thing. And right at the beginning, the planes are coupling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
I think they call it coupling as well.
24 hours a day. And that Air Force base controls that weird fleet of people. And that's why they're a little crazy up there in the air. They've been there 3 weeks,
Yeah. Yeah, but I just didn't get the whole morality thing of it, like how they were so suddenly bothered about having to drop bombs because that's what they've been trained to do.
They were trained. They had nuclear bombs in the air, and they're supposed to bomb Russia whenever it became necessary. That's paranoia.
As soon as they lost contact with base, I think that's what it was.
3-digit code. There was a lot to that movie. It seemed like it was about nothing. It's about a lot. This whole 3-digit thing, and that's why he kept working it out on a piece of paper, because he was a psychotic person on top of it. He had like OCD or something, and he show you the paper. It's POE, OPD, and they're all his little catchphrases. And he's the only guy that's mad about fluoride, and he's crazy. He ends up bombing the world.
Was it based on Harry Truman,
I don't know.
The president?
I heard someone explain who they thought it was recently, and I can't remember what they thought.
Just because he's in a wheelchair and a bit mad. Really, that was, I think, the reason behind it.
He doesn't. You don't see Dr. Strange for most of the movie. You see other Peter Sellers characters more. Like the guy who is the over his shoulder.
He's not in there until the end. But I think wasn't Peter Sellers playing different roles in that movie?
That's what the driving factor of that movie is, more than the storyline, is that they try to invent situations where he could play multiple roles.
Yeah.
And that, I've got a bunch of movies like that where he does that.
If you watch it really closely, you can see the big Pink Panther in the background. Just start investigating something. It's like a jewel goes missing out of a ring.
There's a Pink Panther in the room?
He was in the Pink Panther, wasn't he? He was the guy investigating the Pink Panther.
Yeah. Pink Panther is a diamond.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why they made the second movie A Shot in the Dark, and then they lost the franchise.
Oh, the whole point of the Pink Panther, as far as I know, I haven't researched it, but Pink Panther is when you skin a Black Panther. You know, a Black Panther without the fur is a Pink Panther.
Oh.
And so it's, you know, like Black Pride and I don't know, Black African King and, you know, Return of the Scottish King of and all that sort of thing. You know, Return of the King.
They had to name the after the second one failed at the box office because people didn't get A Shot in the Dark was the second Pink Panther movie. They had to start naming it Pink Panther, but Pink Panther had been the diamond.
Yeah.
And they forgot about that, and so he's Inspector Clouseau. Have you seen the other Edwards movies? You should go on IMDb and download each one of those Blake Edwards movies, the ones he directed. I've got all those. They're really fantastic. Blake Edwards.
Oh, and Danger Mouse is like a white lion as well. You know the Danger Mouse face? They based it on a lion, which is weird. So I don't know. It looks like a white lion and a mouse.
Here's the link for this.
Yeah, it's funny because I was on Douglas Dietrich's. He posted some stuff, and I was on his wall, and he was like instantly clicked like on everything I said. And then I think like a few hours later, after I had some sleep, I posted something really sort of like loads of code in it, and he took about 2 hours to respond. It was like I crashed the supercomputer. I even posted what apocalypse means on that one, and I thought that was quite funny. Making the whole point.
Then I could go back to doing this.
That's basically a copy of what I posted on this thing. So why is Ronald McDonald's body like some hermaphroditic middle-aged person? Emissary Her Majesty. Because you know Ronald McDonald's got those wide hips, like really wide flabby hips, and it's like that's like obviously a woman's hips. That's what he represents. It's, you see, the proper definition of a hermaphrodite is something that could be either male or female, possesses both male and female.
Ronald McDonald has wide hips. I'm looking him up right now. I have a screen above this screen. If my mouse pops between them two, I use that Synergy program.
Yeah, he's got wide hips.
He's got these. Okay. I mean.
I've
seen these people talking from England about Ronald McDonald, like they have some fixation on it. He hasn't been an active figure in America since the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, they had some cartoon images.
They have him in a few movies, a few adverts, stuff like that.
Can you see that? He does have wide hips. Strange.
Yeah. So he is supposed to be like a he/she person. Yeah, because you know hermaphrodite, people think of like the Baphomet symbol. Well, people like who actually study stuff think of the Baphomet, where she's got like one tip. But I mean, hermaphrodite is something that possesses both male and female physical qualities, and so he's got like childbirthing hips, and yeah, it's a man, and the hair is short and dyed, which is just like the Queen's. And I said like M on his chest stands for Majesty, and I was saying like this is the Japanese Ronald McDonald. Like, he's like a piss take out the Queen. It's a parody of the Queen. Oh, the red hair obviously is the red sort of like possibly Rothschild bloodline, possibly, but they're a bunch of French peasants. But it's also, you know, because like Bathory had red hair, and so it goes along that lines. I haven't really analysed it to like the nth degree, but I know the red and yellow.
They have this horrible charity that they do. It's the Ronald McDonald House for Horribly Injured Children or something like that. And several comedians in America have gotten in trouble mocking it.
Mm. Well, also in the voice on that video I linked to, her voice is like, which is like piss take out the Queen, you know. So it's obvious. I figured that out even as a child. I mean, it's just so obvious. obviously in England you get less penetration of the American symbols of like Lord Donald McRise. Yeah, and obviously you got the muck as well, which is like the Scottish
you see
thing.
The symbol. It's the...
Yeah. The M for muck is like to emphasise the Scottish thing. But the interesting thing is a strong German accent can be used to also sounds like a strong Scottish accent. So she's using the strong Scottish accent. Well, they use strong Scottish accent to cover the fact they're German, sort of thing.
Did those things just go to you, or what happened to it? Oh, I pasted it.
Yeah, Scotty was one of those like fake Scottish people in Star Trek. That was pretty much the whole point of him. He's just like fake Scotsman, really bad Scottish accent. And the Scottish accent also for people in America, when they want to do like foreign accents, the Scottish one is the one they fall on because it's the easiest to do, and you can get away with loads of stuff because you're just talk like that. You know, it's just a really stupid Scottish accent, but you just like sort of just gruff voice. And yeah, so they can't do like French accents or European accents. So it's just I am Scottish. This is my stupid Scottish accent.
Star Trek.
He just had a bad Scottish accent. I mean, it's not even like a bro.
They had their Beatle character have a Russian accent. He was hired to be like he was supposed to look like Davy Jones or the Beatles. Scotty, and then they not Scotty, but Chekhov.
Jerk off.
Chekhov.
I always call him jerk off.
And then George Takei, who is now gay.
Yeah.
He's been on the Stern Show.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's so fake.
Before I stopped, I've stopped listening to it lately, but he was the new head. What am I saying? The new voice.
New voice of gay?
No, he's the announcer for the Stern Show, but he's not there all the time.
Yeah.
He voices stuff for them.
I've seen him with his boyfriend on some sort of like
he's become famous because
game show, and it was just like you just sort of like improvised your relationship for 20 years, like in 5 minutes before you went on stage. It was just ridiculous.
Why Sulu suddenly became famous? It's because of the stuff he did on the Stern Show. And that was only in America.
Yeah, him and his boyfriend had the most cliched gay relationship, like taking lifted straight out of the 60s. It was like knew each other.
Didn't you wonder how that could be so established so easily? They just showed up as an already TV-friendly couple.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, the actual sort of like psychology behind the relationship was just totally cliched and just Hollywood and made up in 5 minutes. It was just it was just like and they were all doing this look like I didn't know that about you, and then they had this other thing where they all shared certain like intimate knowledge about each other, and then I think during the course of the show, everything he said, he was like, I didn't know that, and like some of the things that he didn't know were like really obvious. You'd find out like in a few days.
Here's the Sulu dance.
It's just George Takei, obviously he's George Takei up the bum, I guess. George takes it up the bum.
Many people don't like that about him, but he's become enormously popular because of the Stern Show, and he's now like there's been a research of Sulu stuff. He was even on the Twilight Zone. Yeah. Before Star Trek. Here's the Sulu dance. It's for the Howard Stern Show.
Yeah.
And his role has only grown. And so even despising the gay part, and Howard doesn't like the gay part, it's that Sulu is so fucking cool.
He's a really horrible sort of like gay character. I mean, he's he's a creepy gay.
No, he wasn't. When he was on Star Trek, he was just cool. He wasn't gay on Star Trek.
No, but he comes across as being a creepy gay.
Now. He's announced it now.
Yeah, but no, a really sort of creepy one. They're just like, but he'd be chatting to you and like suddenly his hand would be on your bum and he'd be like, shit.
He was the joke on this show as well, and he took it so well that they just like him for some reason. It's excellent. He even fell for it well.
I think Sulu one of them was supposed to be Japanese, but they couldn't find any Japanese characters. They picked either Sulu or
Sulu drives the ship. He's a helmsman.
Yeah. Pick one or the other to play that role, but they couldn't actually find any Japanese.
The navigator is Chekhov, who is the Beetle character.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Russian, isn't he?
Their joke is that he then has a Russian accent. He's from Russia.
Yeah.
He's like the Russian Beetle. And they explained all that in all their little backstage bullshits that I've read over the years and seen. I'm trying to get his name spelled right. Yeah, that's it, George Takei.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if you're called George, you've got to be gay anyway.
You know, he explains on the Stern Show that he couldn't get people to pronounce his name correctly. He explained that it rhymes with gay. Yeah.
Another complete coincidence.
He was, I don't know.
Yeah, George taking a piss.
I get his thing on Facebook every day. He has all these pictures.
Oh, but another quite interesting hint was the fact that because like the fakery around the Queen is that she's not proper like Germanic German, you know, like an Aryan German or whatever you want to call it, true blood German, you know, like going back way yonks. And so she's like clinging on to the proper Germanic bloodline, you know, like the Roman. Yeah, possibly. But the ones that go back to the Caesars, because I don't know if this is like publicly accepted history, but I found out or remembered that the Caesars
Canute too. Or they get rid of that line of those people.
Well, I remember the Caesars were trained up in the Goths by the Goths. You know, the Gothic Empire, which is like not part of Rome.
They took over. The population isn't Jewish, but their rulers, the tribe of Dan came north and took over. He's here, King Canute, the Cunty King.
Okay.
He took over England, Denmark, Norway, Sweden. But he had a tribe of the people called Vikings, and they're Norway kind of people, right?
Oh yeah, but I'm not talking about the Vikings.
But
you know, the
leaders
Goths
of them
were
are the former Israelites who came north, the tribe of Dan, naming everything. This is I watched the Grace Powers movie again. She explained that the Danube, Denmark, it's the tribe of Dan, and they're just takeover kings. They're not hereditary. I mean, they took over. There's King Canute right here, and he took over all these countries, and they're Jewish. Their king line is Jewish, and their masses are Gentiles.
Okay. Well, the point I was getting to is like the original Caesars were proper Germans, and they were like from the Goth area. Because you know the Goth was a clan, and it was part of the Roman Empire, but it wasn't. It was sort of like adjacent.
Constantine, the original Constantine, where was he born?
I don't know.
York, England.
Was it? So anyhow, the thing is, the Goths were like the kingmakers, which is like why you've got like Gotham in like the Batman series, because they're trying to make him to be a king because you know he's got all the material wealth but he's got like a bit of an attitude as well. But they raised kings, but they didn't have a king of their own, so they were sort of like the Gothic barbarians, but they were like not the barbarians that got exterminated by the Romans because they would train up people to be Caesar, because you know like Julius Caesar, he was Caesar before he became emperor, and he came I think from the Goth area, which I'm calling the Gothic Empire.
He crossed the Rubicon.
Okay.
That's the big sin. He brought the army back into Rome. You're not supposed to do that.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I don't think the Windsors can trace themselves that far past, and so they can't. They just have to like hold hands and cling on to the proper Germanic people, because you know, like Hitler was always gone about like the proper Germans, and you want like keep Germany for the proper Germans, and so that has also been misconstrued as like he hated the proper Germans, and he wanted to mix them all up, and you know, like was trying to kill them off. But
he cared about his secret society members. He didn't care about the masses generally. I don't believe.
No, I don't know. There's just so many contradictory things. It reminded me of something else, but
no. I mean, I'm just saying that he got in through horrible means, and
yeah. I mean, he did say wanted to keep Germany pure for the German people, but
he
might
also
be.
said he was Catholic. So his real religion was Theosophy, Luciferianism, Masonry.
Yeah, and the Aryan race might have been the proper Germanic race.
That comes from Madame Blavatsky and her phony history that they believe.
Okay.
That's Theosophy is just, it's a name for their stuff. It doesn't mean that they believe in some God. It's not that you can't take the word apart. But she invented, and so the one is the Agarthans and the other ones are the Atlanteans. And the English and the Germans in World War II. But on the same secret society, really, and all derived from Madame Blavatsky's books.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those books. And there's not just a couple. You have the whole collection?
Yeah.
Bailey, there's 5,000 books, too.
The stories they built up around them are quite...
It's invented. It's an invented history. That's why. So that one woman, Achari S., took stuff out of there, and that was her primary source for this information, and she also... it's a false history. That's their false history of Jesus and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jesus that most people know about is the Jesus of the Jews. The Jesus.
Well, Jesus is not Jewish because Judaism is invented by the Pharisees. That's who he's mad at. Jesus is really pissed off for a while.
Yeah.
He's mad at the people, and why is he mad at those people, you wonder? Well, there are people who have created a brand new religion, dumped the old Israelite religion of the Old Testament, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all that stuff. They dumped that. And they're a brand new religion, man-centered, and that's, of course, Luciferianism. When you're humanist, you're man-centered, that's Luciferianism. And I'm blanking. I made my point, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking though, because you got a whole bunch of fake people.
That is Masonry's religion, really. She's writing the fabric of their religion. It's that crap that she's written. And so the lodges that were called the Agarthan types, they claim that they're from the center of the earth. Same center of the earth that the Hindus believe they're going to. That the Hindus, no, not the Hindus, is it Chinese? Somebody up there claims that they're from the center of the earth, and these people wanted to ally themselves with them. But it didn't make any sense because there was no alliance. The Germans were doing that. That's the German secret society. So the other group that they're fighting is in England, the Anglo-American establishment, and they are the Atlanteans, who believe they were sunk in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
But they're still...
they found Atlantis in the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, what sort of brilliant detective work led that conclusion? I mean, I imagine anybody with a yacht in the 60s would have told you Atlantis is going to be in the Bermuda Triangle, and yet they never really found any evidence. In the Bermuda Triangle, the actual official Bermuda Triangle, I don't know, it's not that big. So how do they not find it? It's just weird. But anyhow, about the families and stuff, I think basically there's a bunch of fake families and fake bloodlines, that shouldn't be like the power elite and stuff like that, but they are because of Saturnalian, because basically Saturn's governing everything. And so, they've all got bosses, invisible masters and all that sort of thing. So Saturn basically tells them, you are going to be given, wealth beyond your imaginings and all that sort of crap. And, you'll have to play out this role of being really important and powerful. And they'll be like, okay, every dog has his day, as they say. But really, they're just peasants. Like the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds. Because, I mean, the actual Rothschild, translates pretty much into, devil's child, or, they're basically a bunch of orphans. Yeah, Rothschild, the devil's children. Red's children. And, I mean, it's sort of lucky coincidence that Shield happens to be Shield in German, but that was just something like the devil arranged, that he would know that they could claim to be German at some point, but they're just a bunch of French peasants, and they're all orphans as well. I mean, that's that was the name given to the orphans was Rothschild. So you're a devil's child because nobody knows who your dad is, so he's of the devil. I mean, that was what Jesus was saying as well. It's you're of the devil.
He's referring to the Pharisees who have invented this new religion, which is they have the Mishnah, not the Tanakh. That they say we love the Torah, And what do they mean? Do they mean Tanakh, the written version, the one that we believe in the first 5 books of the Bible, or this oral tradition, which of course is a Gnostic religion, which don't write this down? The Mishnah means repeat it over and over again. You're supposed to memorize it, and they weren't supposed to write down. And they claim that Moses, when he brought back the written law, also brought back this oral tradition, like God is duplicitous, and he says, "Don't write this down." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this Mishnah is what these Pharisees came up with. It's bullshit, and they hate the Old Testament and they like this Mishnah replacement. And it reads like the Book of Mormon kind of reads like a Bible. This reads like it too, and it reads like but it mocks all the characters from the Old Testament. They hate all those people. And then the Talmud is 15 volumes of commentary on that, and that's the new religion. That's what Jesus is just. He refers to your devil. The devil is your father and all that. Because he hates them that much. And since these people have rejected the Jewish tradition, he invents his own brand new concept. The original covenant is broken.
Yeah. I mean, the Romans didn't like the Jews either, so
this group they're the anti-Israelites. They believe in a new religion. This religion. And where do they? So they actually, you figure they have a copy of the Tanakh somewhere in the synagogue. Well, where is it? It is hermetically sealed in a box.
Okay.
And they don't. So if I take my favorite book and I put it in a hermetically sealed box, I'm not flipping through it all the time. I can't open the box. It's a baseball bat. You know what I mean? That's what it is now. They seek to annul the Old Testament, and they keep it in that box locked where nobody can open it.
Like the end of the Legends of Star.
The replacement fraud that they have is the new text, the Mishnah. And then, it's so evil. Like, for PR purposes, there's some really nice parts of the Quran. Like, if you wanted to excerpt some and make a case for the Islam, it's real friendly sounding. The Jewish religion doesn't have that going for them. They couldn't make a pamphlet of the friendly stuff in the Talmud. It's a Patriot Act.
Yeah.
There's no nice passages that can win you over. You've got to be really fucking evil to read this and like it. I mean, every page is like the Patriot Act. I mean,
it's like there's some sort of villains created by a super intelligence.
I went through it looking for the friendly part.
Well, I mean, even the name, like the name Jupiter. I mean, I picked up on that on my blogs, and it's like, straining out the Jews sort of thing. Like the essence of the Jew, and so they're probably like, the essence of sort of like, I don't know what you call it, anti-socialism or something.
Because they say they love the Torah, so people think they mean the one and not the other. They've never heard of the other, and so they mean the oral Torah. They say, well, we love that we're Torah-believing people. People say Judeo-Christian, whatever. There's no Judeo-Christian. Christianity is not based on this. It's based on the Israelite religion, yes, but not Judaism. And Jesus, as their primary tormentor, is certainly not Jewish. It isn't like he capitulated at the end to join the Pharisees' religion. He hates that. He therefore cannot be called a Jew.
Yeah.
The name of this.
I'm just thinking it will be like typical tactics for the Jews to like sort of like put Jewish qualities into Jesus and then promote that as being Jesus.
Differentiating it away from what they have told the evangelical Christians that they are. Yeah. They tell them that they are the people from the Old Testament and that they are Torah believing, and they don't know there's a deception, or maybe they do. That's where you get Christian Zionism. Christian Zionism should be an oxymoron. But because they have lied to this evangelical bunch of idiots in America in the South who cannot read and do whatever their preachers tell them, they told them this is Moses' descendants and all this. And the 5% of them, I guess, are. But even if they are, they have abandoned that religion of Moses and told it to go fuck itself. I mean, that's what they've done.
Yeah.
Moses. They're hateful to us, but boy, are they hateful to the religion of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Which there's almost nobody practicing that. There's like the Karaite in Iran. And they shouldn't call themselves the Karaite Jews, but they're the Karaite Jews. They don't like the Talmud or the Mishnah.
Well, I mean, in I don't know what you call it, classical Satanism, it says that like the devil might have written, or Satan might have written the Bible as a way of sort of like explaining what he's doing. So I mean, there could be loads of hints as to how he's manipulating the people, and so on and so forth. You know, things along that sort of lines. And you know, there's probably passages in there that are just in there to provoke a reaction. And you know, he's sort of like doing an apocalypse. He's giving away what he's doing, sort of thing, by being in the Bible. I mean, I can't imagine Satan actually being not part of the Bible at all, because he's always going to want to get in there.
Well, he shows up several times.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's mentioned several times, but I imagine he's actually contributed to it. I mean, you would have to, because he's like, you know, right man of God and all that sort of thing. You know, he's and as the adversary, he's got to be in there, because you can't have like a story with a hero without a villain. And so, you know,
that right there is the New Age belief that they're exactly equal, that the two sides
yeah,
are exactly, and they are not.
Yeah.
In the I Ching, which is pretty much not New Age, and they don't like that book, because if you read the text of the one that Wilhelm published, it explained that there is no equality. It's a hierarchy. The number one is on top of the number two. The female one is the number two, and the male one is the number one.
Yeah.
And it is on top and in charge. And there's even lines at the end of the second one that talk about.
Well, I'm not saying they are equal. I'm saying they're in conflict.
Demands to be equal to the first. There's some sort of horrible war.
Yeah. I'm not saying they are equal. I'm saying they're in conflict. And because they're in conflict, you know, they are warring for equality and supremacy. You know, they might say they want to be equal. That'd be one of the.
That they are equal.
That'd be like one of the things that Satan's putting through. Is you know, I only want to be on equal terms. I want equal rights. You know, but of course he wants to be supreme. You know, like you have like you know, all the equal rights movements.
Well, that's Marxism. That's direct Marxism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True equal rights for everybody is communism.
No. The feminist movement is direct Marxist infiltration. That is Marxism directly. They took a group that was equal or in a better position and made themselves fight for equality when they were already in a superior position. Here's number two. Oh, wait, where's it? The receptive. Number one. So it's yin and yang. The first two things in the I Ching are yin and yang. That they're supposed to be equal, and they are not equal. This is number one, the creative.
Yeah.
And they're not equal, and they make it really clear in here that they are not equal. But the New Age movement has told you, and that's why they like to put up the yin yang symbol, that they are equal, and they are not.
Yeah. So what they do is they brainwash the more powerful into thinking they're weak, and brainwash the weak into thinking they're strong.
This is the real one, the one that Pink Floyd, Chapter 24, in the first album. The song's called Chapter. It's a Syd Barrett song. Here. That's 24.
Yeah. It's masculine and feminine, isn't it?
No, the I Ching is not masculine feminine. That's my whole point here, bringing it out, was that they are not equal.
No, I was saying it's like masculine and feminine energies. You got the positive and negative.
Yeah. But it's electricity. See, they use science to prove that religion is false.
Say males and females are equal.
They're equal.
Yeah.
But not. That's a way of telling you that.
No, that's total bullshit. I don't think anybody with an IQ over 3 actually believes that male and female are equal. They try and push that onto like infants, and it doesn't even work on them.
That's the sales pitch they're using, and they do believe that. And they're being taught like global warming is an absolute fact. CO2 is our enemy.
Yeah. Well, they don't believe that, but they're told to say that's true. It's just like the public brainwash into believing into saying it's true, but not believing.
There's a debate. They don't teach them anything. They say this is the answer, which is the
It's dogma.
Science, everything can be close. These people have announced it, and that's not the only thing that they teach them. You should see what the textbooks are. It's unfucking imaginable. And forward motion, they say things like carbon dioxide and whatever, and then they show them the drowning bear movie and all that. The polar bear. There's no polar bears in danger. So.
Oh yeah.
But the children are crying and traumatized by this.
Yeah. Well, that's dogma though. When you express a religious, dogma is where you express a religious belief without providing any alternative.
They never tell the children there's a debate. No debate, it's solved, this is the answer. And then they tell you the scientific method, which kind of defies the whole concept.
Yeah, that's dogmatic religion.
Right. See, the Christian religion is not tax sponsored, but the New Age religion is. They teach the New Age religion to the children now. And see, why my generation, your generation, is Gen X there, didn't fall for this is that we weren't paying attention at all. Nothing got through from the school to me ever. I wasn't at no time was I paying, and nobody I knew was paying attention at all. And so that's why I think Gen X missed, and we're the last possible chance to stop the New World Order.
I picked up a whole load of stuff about the brainwashing and the counterculturalism and all that sort of stuff, but it never had an effect on me because it was so dumb. But the thing is, what I don't think most people realise is that if you basically start off dumb and you get clever, and so like this really dumb stuff that I think like I wasn't interested in fools everybody else, well 90% of other people, because they're so dumb they don't know any better, you know. It's not much different. The stuff they're taught now is not much different to like you know how we were taught in school in history. Like the people used to think that God lived in the clouds. I mean, I don't actually know if anybody actually did, but that's what we were taught. You know, and the stuff they're being taught in schools now is just as dumb. But the thing is, they haven't actually learned to get smart. They haven't actually got, you know, they haven't got smart. So they fall for the most stupid things.
They were changing the books while I went there, from books. So the teacher would look up and say, "What I've just read is completely wrong. We're just going to not. You're going to disregard the last page."
Loads of classes like that. They give me this book to read from, and I can't be bothered. So I've done something to
our teachers were able to do that.
Yeah. That's not that unusual. In the 80s and stuff, that wasn't that unusual.
My cousin I interviewed. Remember, I put her interview on half of one of our shows. I caught her. She explains it. If she defies what's in the textbook to the children, if she says that that's not true, they fire her. And she admitted that on the phone there. I have no children. I have no ball in this thing. So, but I never thought I would be interested in this. But it's that Michael Chapman and some of the other ones talk about it, but that guy especially has done his research in this area. And then there's that Bev Ekman and Peg Luxick. That's the group that forced Survivor and everything on us.
Yeah.
They didn't do the forcing.
I just missed so much of the cultural programming.
They got the lifeboat off the test, so America had to be tortured with Survivor because of that. This was the last parents' association that it was in Pennsylvania that got one of the questions off the test, and then they made it a felony crime after that to show it to anybody.
Another thing I thought up is, you know, they say about fluoride and this and that, and the chemtrails, they're all deadly and they're going to kill you. I mean, that won't actually affect somebody who's intelligent, but it's sort of like you're fooling the fools sort of thing, and it'll work on really dumb people because they sort of like, they'll pick up on that.
Sort of on SSRI drugs, and those are fluoride based, and the fluoride in the water enhances the power of the drug. Yeah,
exactly. So if you're already sort of like
those SSRI drugs are fluoride compounds. That's why I knew they were bad, but later on I found out that was a shock to find out that this category. You know, you've seen the SSRI Stories website and all that. All this, it creates school shooters. It creates mass murder. And what is it about those drugs? They happen to be fluoride-based compounds. It just makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, but it's like a slippery slope, basically. You know, you fall for one thing and you're more likely to fall for something else, but it's part of the same.
This makes it worse.
Yeah, but I totally don't believe in like, you know, like totally healthy people can like, you know, breathe a bit of chemtrail and like they fall on the floor and dead.
I just linked it.
I don't even know if chemtrails actually do anything, really. I think they're a smokescreen.
No, they're dumping at least aluminum into the...
Yeah. I mean, but they could be a big smokescreen. Just to, like, keep... What's that?
SSRI Stories. It's the longest webpage I've ever seen ever. And every single line goes to a news story. Like, you don't need to click those links. Just look at the page itself. And it shows you... what drug they were on, which SSRI. Like there's several different fluoride compounds: Zoloft, Paxil, Effexor, Luvox, Prozac. I say Prozac,
Yeah,
Celexa.
no. Well, that's like shamanic demonic possession. Basically, because if you're on a drug, and this is like in Carl Castaneda books, plants and stuff have their own life force and their own sort of intelligence. I mean, they're not intelligent in themselves, but they resonate with it. And so, like, if you do loads of, I don't know, drug
Those are
X,
psychoactive drugs.
like serotonin inhibitors, or whatever. You take loads of,
They're psychoactive drugs.
Yeah, but
what
the reason
they
they're
do is
psychoactive, they're activating the demonic link.
Yeah, but see, they're not dexedrine. Dexedrine increases the serotonin amount. A hard rain's going to fall, and see, that's the right way to take care of it. It was good enough for Hitler. It's good enough for me. The SSRI drug takes the drain where the serotonin drains out and blocks up the drain.
Yeah.
So if you don't even have a rain, if the drought blocking up the drain will not help you. The dexedrine method, it's a hard fucking rain's going to fall, and what happens to the drain? Nobody cares. It's just more and more of that serotonin. See what I mean? That's why they
Yeah,
go crazy.
I understand. I understand
these
that.
people go crazy is because their drain is blocked up. That's what the drug does.
Yeah, but that's. I was reading this other thing, but I mean, from this other thing's perspective, I'll just say that's psychiatry, which is like if you got things wrong.
Psychiatry is Jewish control, but the medication has replaced the Jewish control.
Yeah. Well, Scientology just like disregards psychiatry altogether, and I hadn't read that. That's obviously
They
new.
don't disregard it completely because
No, they think it's crap.
You're on the eater.
That's not psychiatry. They're into like demons and stuff, like exorcising demons, getting demons out of you. They don't believe that behavioural problems are caused by chemical imbalances in the body, which is like one of the principles of psychiatry. Yeah, because if I'm unhappy, it's because I've got like not enough, I don't know, glucosate in my bloodstream. No, that's psychiatry.
It's not a chemical imbalance.
Yeah. But one of the principles of psychiatry is if there's something, if you're acting in an antisocial manner, it's because you've got some sort of chemical imbalance in your body, and Scientology rejects all that.
That's the farm.
So I thought that was quite interesting. It's also very medieval.
See, people now hate psychiatry, but they're not getting Freudian psychiatry. They're just getting drugs given to them.
Yeah.
Freudian psychiatry, that's Jewish control.
I know he's a psychologist. I didn't know he's a psychiatrist as well. But psychiatry is
a medical doctor. That's why he could get the cocaine.
Okay. He always did it for money.
So Freud was a medical doctor, turning to this weird new science, the phony science of Jewish control. He was bent on cocaine. I mean, he was an incredible cokehead. These things only make sense when you're that high. They don't really work in real life. I mean, they do, I guess, but they've really harmed us all. But
yeah.
It's only used for sales,
Yeah.
Or hypnotism. Every one of his horrible disciples, he was evil enough. But what's that? Wilhelm Reich. The guy that the two guys who invented NLP analyzed, he was a Freud disciple too. The guy that ended up in Arizona, I forget his name. Bandler and Grinder interviewed that guy to figure out how to make NLP. He was a Freud disciple. But all the Freud disciples, Jung is another one. Jung is another Freud disciple. He went wrong. And they all are the most poisonous, horrible things. I mean, so it shows you that what was emanating off of Freud was just evil incarnate. And so every one of his... It's like...
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really study that much of Freud. I know Freud... What I got from Freud is that everything's based on sex. And so I was like, okay, I can see that. I can see that because
that only makes sense when you're all coked up, and that's what he was the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that on the way people behave. Is that their behaviour has all got sexual basis on it, but they're not really like thinking, fully functioning people. If you know what I mean? Like they're not mindless people.
They're trying to control you. These questions lead to your being better in some way. Who is the first cured person? Nobody. They have a cure rate of 0. I agree with that documentary. If you could take the last card off of that documentary, the one that says sponsored by Scientology, it's a great documentary, and it's correct.
Yeah.
And at the end, it discredits itself by saying we sponsor, sponsored by. It's the last card on the thing. It doesn't even say it at the beginning.
Yeah,
video completely, except for the card.
Well, I think, because that's the principal difference between psychology and psychiatry. Psychiatry says you can take chemicals to make yourself better, and psychology is more like working out the logic of why you're doing it. Or it's not
twisted around though. It still had a point of doing the Jewish control of having you tell them everything, but they could also prescribe it. It became the justification because it became about prescribing drugs from the drug.
Yeah.
And so they got doctors to prescribe the drugs.
Yeah.
But it's destroyed the Freudian Jewish control that they used to talk to you, at least. And then they would control you because they'd get you to say stuff. That's Jewish control. And Jewish control really is the fact that they're recording every call. What are they going to do with that? Control.
They say they do. Yeah, I guess they might be doing it as well.
Why tape everybody's phone call? It's to control everybody.
Got nothing better to do.
This laptop's a little unstable. Still. It's not like its previous one, the one I sold to Steve. That thing is rock solid. You can do anything to it.
Okay.
This one is like...
I'm going out in a minute anyway. I'm out of booze. Go and get Celtic Rebel on this call, can't we? Is he asleep? He's on the way.
He's on the way, but he's also 2 machines logged in.
So machine's logged in, but he's away.
When you have 2 machines logged in and you don't touch the other one for a while, that one registers as away. Even though you have 2 logged in, you think it would be the most active would win, but it's the one who made the recent motion that it was away gets the away. I'm working on 2 machines right now. I do that synergy thing, so my mouse goes back and forth. But sometimes I don't go down. Like I use the laptop to show me. I look up something on the laptop and I do something on the upper machine. They're right above each other. So I might have the research chart. I'm getting some discographies from some group or something like that, and leave it. And so my Skype will go away. I haven't touched it in 15 minutes or something. But my other machine, which also has Skype logged in, is active. But it's whoever filed the last notification. So he's often there. He often is invisible too. That's me.
I'm gonna cancel the call for a minute. I'm gonna go out.
All right.
All right. Speak to you later. Bye.